So welcome everyone. My name is Kaleen O'Connor. I am joining you from Florida, USA. So for me, it's nighttime. I know for some of you, it's during the day. Wherever you are, wherever the sun is at the moment, we're really glad you're with us. Our goal tonight is to make sure you have a lot of fun, but not just fun, but also really a whole new world that, may be something you've never even heard of before, but it will definitely add value to your life. So we're taking a dive into the world of cellular health tonight, and we're inviting you to join us from the reality of asking yourself, is it real that the body can heal itself? And we come from the viewpoint, those of us that are presenting on the webinar tonight, that it is real that the body heals itself. So you're going to find out all kinds of juicy stuff about how that happens and new information from our medical science community that really helps us understand that whole conversation and incredible breakthroughs that have come from it. So we've got a couple of live presenters tonight, and our first one is Mr. Stevie Aquilina, and he is a true gift to listen and learn from because he's always expanding his knowledge. He's a true student of life, and he happens to really be quite an expert at this breakthrough that you're going to learn about tonight, as well as how we share it with others. That's really become truly a global health project. So buckle up, you're in for an adventure, and you're welcome to take notes. We do invite you at the very end to ask questions in the chat box. So if you've got questions, you can put them in as we go along. With that, Stevie, over to you.
Hey, thanks very much, Kaleen. Very good to be here with you again. Glad to have you back after, your big trip away. And yeah, you're just a tremendous leader and lady and friend. And yeah, so glad to know you and be working shoulder to shoulder with you as we go out there, changing people. And I know you do that with your heart, with the mission of this company in that sincerely. So, which is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. And you take that very seriously. And so, yeah, seriously good to work with you. Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. As Kaleen said, my name's Stevie Aquilina. Let me share my screen here with you in case you couldn't. Oh, now everything is, that's never happened before. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, you're good to go. It's up.
Okay, great. I've got it back now. Wow, that was new. As Kaleen said, my name is Stevie Aquilina, and in case you couldn't tell by her introduction or by my Crocodile Dundee accent, my family and I live in Australia. And we're originally from Sydney, but now we live on the Gold Coast. And that was really a dream come true when we can make that happen. We are just minutes from beautiful beaches, mountains, rainforests, coastal cities, theme parks. We love it. I feel very blessed, grateful for my life and the income and the time and the freedom that we have now that allows me to enjoy a really great lifestyle with my family. That's also taken us to many parts of the world that once upon a time just way too far out of my reach, to be honest, because the good vibes and good times have not always been the case. I started off as a very difficult, weird, awkward child to parent, to school, to raise. I never made the grades in school. I was often told I was stupid and useless on a daily basis, in fact, and I kind of figured out when you tell something often enough, especially while you're young and impressionable enough, you kind of start to believe it. And so with that kind of stinking thinking, I later became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout. And again, with that type of thinking, I just walked myself way off track on life's journey throughout my teens and 20s. I had more than 20 different jobs in far less that time. I was hanging out with the wrong crowd, doing the wrong things. For over a decade, I was a very dumb but very good looking, as you can see. Joking, right? But I was a bouncer in what used to be the most popular nightclubs in Sydney, King's Cross, very notorious part of Sydney. We used to be anyway. Now, I had big dreams. I was a daydreamer, but I wasn't a daydream believer. What I mean by that, I wanted to be, do, and have, and I really wanted to give more is what it was about, actually. I wanted to give more. But I had little self-esteem, little sense of self-worth, and so I'd done little with my life and had little to give. Physically, I've always been athletic, mainly in martial arts. Back then, you wouldn't have known it, but I had health troubles, autoimmune disease, inflammatory diseases, severe skin, respiratory, and gut conditions most of my life. Lots of bad injuries too from very, very old school, hardcore martial arts. Now, financially, I got myself stuck in go nowhere jobs, stuck with hopes going nowhere, no prospects, no financial security, no financial dignity. Now, I've been so embarrassingly broke. I've had the phone, electricity, and gas cut off. I've not been able to run my car on anything more than just the fumes of petrol. You call it gas in the US. I couldn't afford it. I've been evicted, not paying the rent. I mean, embarrassingly broke. Now, I believed in possibilities, but I doubted my potential. And so with that kind of contradiction, it led to confusion and feelings of uncertainty and unfulfillment and unhappiness and frustration. I was just unable to be who I wanted to be. I felt trapped. Now, things turned around for me at this point when I met the girl of my dreams. Right then and there, I was motivated more than ever before to become more. Now, she believed in me, always told me that I was more, long before I could believe it, long before I could tell that to myself. And I figured out again, once you told something often enough, right? Now, the second big event that really has shaped my life today was being introduced to this company's life-changing breakthrough, life-changing financial opportunity, life-changing training. Now, the company leaders are extremely successful people. They believed in me too, but more importantly, they've taught me and continue to teach me how to believe and become more. So now, instead of having health problems, I've solved them, have the honor of helping others to solve them too with this life-changing breakthrough. Now, instead of financial insecurity and dignity and being embarrassingly broke, I have security and dignity because of this life-changing financial opportunity. And now, instead of being uncertain, unfulfilled, unhappy, frustrated, and trapped, I have the ability to have more, most importantly, with the ability to give more and believe and become even more, because this company's training has shown me a life-changing better way. And now I want to spend the rest of my life doing nothing less than bettering people's lives, as many as I can, at least any one of these life-changing ways too. So what I'm going to share with you first is the life-changing breakthrough. This is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime that you're about to see. Medical experts say this. They say it is a great breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. For 2 decades, science had declared that this was impossible. So this is a real miracle that you even get to see this. This is a breakthrough with enormous potential. And it's proven by renowned universities and world-leading laboratory medical studies. This is a very advanced breakthrough, by the way. 15 years ahead of its time is what it's considered to be. And any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results, but drug companies wanted it. They wanted it shut down. Drug companies wanted it shut down. More about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's be clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything you're seeing on the screen right now. This is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. What we'll be talking about here goes well beyond drugs or nutrition. It goes well beyond any type of ingredients or technology you already know about, because what I'm about to show you is an entirely new frontier in science that is truly groundbreaking and category creating, busting through all of this other stuff. It is a real deal healthcare breakthrough for humanity. So here is the first thing I'm going to show you, the ASEA Redox cell signaling technology, a drink that contains nothing else other than active redox signaling molecules. But what are those? Redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So then they are native to your body. They're in your body. They are your cellular messengers that affect your cell-to-cell communication and therefore allow your cell-to-cell operation to occur. And I mean everything, all the way down to your genetic expressions in a positive way. Now, redox signaling is a remarkable process. It really is, because it is the actual process that empowers your body to heal itself. And this can only happen by redox signaling molecules actually sending signals so that your cells know how to protect healthy cells. They know how to repair unhealthy cells, and your cells know how to replace damaged cells. Now, redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Now, why is this also important? Because we are all made entirely of cells. We live and die at the cellular level. So redox signaling molecules send signals so the cells know how to be healthy, and healthy cells means a healthy body, and healthy body means healthy life, right? Redox signaling molecules are the keys to life because they are essential for the activation and function of our normal physiology. All of our body's major systems, biochemical and physiological processes, all critically depend on redox signaling. Critically, because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than just a few more mere seconds. You could live longer without food. You could live longer without water. You might even be able to live longer without oxygen, but without your redox signaling molecules, life ends. So if our bodies already make redox signaling molecules, then why do we need to give our bodies more? Well, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy. How they can run around all day, not wake up sore the next one. How they can bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, poor diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down. And our cells' ability to make redox molecules declines daily. Without as many redox molecules giving clear cell signals, our cells don't know how to work as well. Our healing and protection processes become slow and sluggish. Our cells break down more and more, and so does our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. ASEA takes science seriously, and so is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities, world-leading laboratories, and they allow these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in everybody. One I'll point out very quickly on the left-hand side there in the middle, Bioagilytics. That scientific organization is world-renowned, and they monitor, assess, certify most of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world. And what Bioagilytics does is certifies that what is in ASEA is what ASEA is saying is in ASEA, and that is nothing but redox signaling molecules. Now, ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science. Redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of a signaling molecule, there have now since been multiple signaling molecules discovered. There's 16 in total. All of those are contained within ASEA redox products, by the way. But now there's also been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you were to go to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published at the National Library of Medicine, and if you typed in redox signaling in the search bar, you would see well over 33,000 results. There are more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling, and this slide is already way out of date. I should really update it, because there are around 150 studies coming out almost every single month. According to medical researchers, as reported in mainstream media like the Huffington Post, who specifically wrote about ASEA in this article I'm sharing, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. There are now multiple universities, by the way, who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And ASEA is already light years ahead of anything else out there. ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translates to health at its most foundational level. Here's just one other example of that. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of your genetic pathways. In other words, affect your genes, activate your genes. That improves immune system health. That helps maintain a healthy inflammatory response. That helps maintain cardiovascular health, that's your heart, and support arterial elasticity. That improves gut health and digestive enzyme production, and that modulates hormone balances to support your vitality and wellness. These genes are key in the health of every individual, and they don't just play a vital role in the 5 mentioned human health areas that we went over, but they also activate dozens of additional genetic pathways. Now, moreover, the ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production, your body's own efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. the head professor of this university study, is saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now, that is significant, very significant, because all degenerative health concerns are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. Why? Because remember, redox signaling molecules are native to your body. That means they're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger and healthier. So if you have health challenges, or if you have people that you care about who do, or if you have a wish that you could look, live, and feel young once again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, whether it's being athletic or just living your everyday life, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But you really don't need to take my word for it, because I'm going to share with you now some medical doctors so you can have a listen in on what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants, and the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. You can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
So now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, I'd like to show you what's possible from the outside in. And that's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technologies. They are Renew 28, our Redox gel on the far right, and next to it, our intensive Redox serum. Now, these Redox technologies are supported and further enhanced by their complementary, all natural ingredients products. That is our gentle refining cleanser on the far left and our ultra replenishing moisturizer next to it. But look, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's just show you what our ASEA Redox technologies are actually worth with these amazing pictures showing health, anti-aging, and age-reversing results. Lines and wrinkles are smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. Skin blemishes, spots, dots, marks, inflammations, irritations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin being renewed. For young people too, being rejuvenated, improving the quality of life, even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions coming back to the proper surface of the skin. This is Rosie, and this is a cool little story. The dramatic difference you're seeing in the first two pictures on the far left could not be seen by Rosie because she did not take those pictures. Actually, Rosie believed that the products were not even working. Rosie went to see her doctor. That's who told her about ASEA and who took these pictures, by the way. Rosie told the doctor, hey, the products don't do anything. The doctor showed these pictures to Rosie. I guess the rest of the story can be seen here, right? Now, everybody says they want to see how this stuff goes. But Rosie missed the moment by moment changes by not taking pictures. And you may miss them too, the day by day, moment by moment, gradual changes. You'll miss them if you don't take pictures. So please take pictures. Anything you can't take a picture of, keep a written record instead. Now, some people notice results in a reasonable amount of time, like Rosie, 7 weeks, others within 7 days. Some people can even have an experience in around about 7 minutes, but some people need to apply more product, time, and patience, generally when there's more going on with their health. What we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules are all the same. The same in you, me, animals, plants, all the same. Studies show that ASEA Redox products have an immediate positive effect. They work in every single person, every single time. It would be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you and or hurt you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Speaking of that, this doctor did a little experiment of his own on his very own face, used Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you spot the change? Can you spot the difference? Once you see it, you really can't unsee it. Renew 28 is not just for your face, as you can see here, arms, hands, bellies, and bums, buttocks, thighs, all over. These pictures are actually from a study by a world-leading laboratory. This study was done because there were many reports coming in from all over the world from people saying that their cellulite had disappeared. Cellulite, while they were using Renew 28, had gone away. So scientists set upon very strict studies to see, was there any truth to these stories? What they found was after just 12 weeks, there was more than a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And so when the scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover how this was happening, they saw the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite, wrinkles, enhances skin texture, smoothing the skin, not just for visibly younger looking skin, but for actual healthier skin. Healthy is the new beautiful. Renew 28 helps soothe skin discomfort after things like shaving, sun exposure, and alike. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It goes far deeper than that. It helps soothe discomfort around the body. And you can know about that in about 10 minutes if you have something around your body that is sore, that is hurting you. Rate that soreness on a scale of 1 to 10. Give it a soreness score. 10 means maximum soreness, right? Maximum amount of hurting. Apply Renew 28 on that sore spot 3 times within 5 minutes. And I'm telling you, usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of that discomfort within approximately 10 minutes. Now, nothing I've said here today, I must say, has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through. And ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. With every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. And the greater the breakthrough, the greater the opportunity. Nasir is a life-changing breakthrough, and that's created a life-changing financial opportunity behind all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. But before we get there, I want to show you how significantly this has changed people's lives. And who better to illustrate that than this gentleman who has a tremendous, not just life-changing, but life-saving story. So I'm going to hand it back to Kaleen so he can be introduced.
Fantastic. Yeah, we are very privileged tonight to have Dan Doyle with us, and to hear directly how this breakthrough has personally helped him and his family, as well as helped him to develop an entirely new career, and building a global business that has gone beyond what he ever thought he would create. So, and I'm privileged to know Dan for over 4 years now, because he actually, on this mission that he's on, as Stevie and I are on, took the time to share it with me. So Danny, thanks for being with us tonight. And your screen is live. We can see it.
All righty, let's get some sound. How's that? Picture happening. Thanks, Kaleen. Thank you, Stevie. Thank you so much for being on the call with us, and thanks for having us on the call today. I had a little bit of a chuckle, Kaleen, when you said my name then, and there's some people on this call who know me now, who know otherwise. Just a little in-house joke. It's all good. Welcome to Kelly and Kevin.
When you show up right at the top of the hour, right?
That's funny. I'll tell you that story later. So thanks for being on the call, guys. I just like, from my point of view, everybody to relax, because I always say, no matter who I'm talking to, I'm not here, and we're not here to sell you anything or convince you to do anything. We're here literally just to share our stories. Somebody who has invited you to this call, as far as I'm concerned, has handed you an incredible gift, and whether you open that gift or not is totally up to you. But hopefully you're going to get enough information today to be able to make an informed decision, which is what we do, to help inform people, for them to make a decision whether they want to get involved with us, or use their products, or, as Stevie's going to go through in a very short period of time, talk about the incredible opportunity behind this breakthrough. So I just want to reiterate the company disclaimer that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But I can tell you we have something that is out of this world, really, something pretty phenomenal that can empower the body to heal itself in these amazing little molecules. So I'm based here in Honolulu, Hawaii, with my wife, Suzanne, now. This is literally not real in the background here, but it's actually real if you walked outside my back door, because we live on the beach here in Honolulu, which is just an amazing place. And as you guys know now, I grew up in Sydney, Australia, and only been traveling for the past 2 years, or we haven't gone back to Australia for 2 years now. And growing up in Sydney, I played many sports, and I did that to distract myself from school, which I disliked. I played rugby, and I did judo, gymnastics, aerobics, surfing, and then this sport called bodybuilding. And I can assure you it's not Photoshop. This is a picture of me literally 30 years ago at the age of 24 years old, when not only I was at the peak of my bodybuilding career, but I also was in business. I had multiple businesses in the health and fitness industry, and not knowing it at the time, I would expand into other industries and build and sell traditional businesses over the next 2 decades from the time this photo was taken. And I went into the hospitality industry, the construction industry. I went into, goodness me, what other industries? I had a modeling agency. I had multiple car wash cafes, security companies. I had built, I had a pub, construction, excavation, concreting, you name it, I've done it. So over the next 20 years, I built and sold 20 traditional businesses, and I employed around about 3,500 people over those 2 decades. Now, if you fast forward from the age 24 to 44, this is a picture of me 20 years later at 44, not a bodybuilder anymore, but I still used to look after myself, and I still do. I'm pretty well in this shape at nearly 54. And thank goodness I was in this shape, because if I had a little bit of weight on me and I didn't really was in tune with my body, I wouldn't have felt something that wasn't quite right in my abdomen. went to the doctors 6 months after this photo was taken, and in 2011, doctors gave me some really bad news, and this is a picture of me on the right-hand side, 6 months after that last photo, going through 2.5 years in and out of a hospital in Sydney, Australia, something that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy to go through. It was a terrible, horrendous time. Lost all the hair from the top of my head to my toes. And yeah, it was just a time where during that time that what I was going through and what they were putting me through, there was even times that I didn't want to be here anymore. And all I could think of was the elderly, and all I could think of was young people that were going through the exact same thing. This is a young friend of mine, Johnny Manor, 21 years old in this photo. He played and had been playing the highest levels of rugby in Australia. And, you know, along his journey, unfortunately, the doctors told him he had an issue similar to mine, and he went through all those hospital visits that I was going through here. He went into remission. So here at the age of 21, back playing the highest levels of rugby in Australia, he was in a remission, top of his game again. Unfortunately, after this photo was taken, Johnny's issue came back. He went back into hospital, lost a lot of weight, lost all his hair. He never came out. We lost him at the age of 23. At the end of my 2.5 years of hospital visits, I asked my doctors what's going to happen. And as much as I hit them between the eyes, they hit me between the eyes, and they told me to get my affairs in order. And it was a hard pill to swallow. I thought it was going to be okay. But at that point, I knew I had to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. So I did some research. My research led to an alkaline diet. And I also spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, and alkaline water from a lot of different companies from around the world. And I can tell you that with everything that I did and everything that I was doing and all that supplementation, this was the result after 2 years of me looking after myself. I can tell you my blood works were still heading in the wrong direction, and I was still in a lot of trouble with my health. So this is in 2014. A friend of mine called and said, I think I've found something that can help. And long story short, I jumped on a plane from Sydney, Australia, went to Salt Lake City, Utah, and I started on this product, these redox signaling molecules. Long story short, again, in a very short period of time, as a matter of fact, 3 hours, my body was expelling things from it so fast. I had little red spots all over my upper torso. Couldn't wait till I went to the restroom. In 12 hours, a 20-year stomach problem had gone away, a caffeine intolerance I had for 20 years. Any more than 2 coffees, I'd be buckled over all day and with discomfort. And in 48 to 72 hours, because I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital where I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time, my lungs were functioning perfect just after a couple of days on this product. So I went back to Australia. I kept drinking these amazing little molecules. Long story short, again, 12 months later, and in 2015, this is the day the doctors told me no sign of those 2 major health challenges. But not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports, which were turning into that crippling issue as we get older, have gone away. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing and runny nose. My whole body was rebuilt top to bottom in 2015, just 1 year on the product. So that was my journey back to health. Now, if you fast forward another 2 years, this is a picture of me 3 years on the product, and you can see looking a lot younger again. So I always like to go back to 2014. And what you're seeing on the outside is a reflection of what was going on the inside at that time. And that's for anybody that doesn't look well on the outside, more than likely they're not well on the inside. And if you go to 2015, 1 year on the product, I'm looking better, I'm feeling better. This is a reflection of what was going on the inside at that time. And then 3 years on the product, my complexion a lot better again from using not just the Redox cell signaling supplement we drink, but the topical gel, the Renew 28, my complexion, a reflection of what was going on the inside at that time. So that was my journey back to health, back to looking younger and feeling younger. Along the way, and you know, I wasn't looking for a seer. A seer found me, and thank goodness a friend reached out to me to tell me about this, because if he didn't, more than likely I wouldn't be here, and either would a lot of you. So things evolved along the way, and I started sharing this with other people, and I can tell you, thanks to what you're going to hear now and the business model behind the breakthrough, it gave me the ability to received thank you checks from the company. With those thank you checks, I invested in more product, saturating my body with more molecules to get these molecules to more damage, to signal my body to where that damage was. So it was the actual business model behind the breakthrough that really saved my life. I believe that this is the perfect storm for what we have. A lot of people are doing tough in business. They're struggling financially. They've lost their businesses. They've lost their jobs. I've been involved with this for 6 years. It totally turned our life around in so many ways in the first year, not just physically, but also financially. This is literally a true home-based business, something that you can do when you do have time, something that you can do in any spare time. You can run this parallel with anything you're doing, and I can guarantee if you're putting the time and effort in, you could build something pretty substantial, help a lot of people, which is literally the most satisfying thing I've ever done in my life. So we have a vehicle that can take you back to your health potentially, guys, and we've also got a vehicle that can take you to anywhere you want to go financially. With that, I'm going to hand back to Kaleen to go through the rest of the presentation. Thanks, Kaleen.
Sorry about that, guys. I was muted. Thank you, Dan. Okay, so always learn from you every time and really appreciate that. And there's quite a story, folks, in terms of how this company came about. And as Danny's even just hinted and shared from his own life example of how it can change your life. So Stevie's going to come back at this moment and share why we are a force for good in the world and making a difference in people's lives. Stevie, back over to you.
Hey, thank you very, very much, Kaleen, and thank you very much, Dan. So yeah, let's talk about the, now that we've spoken about the big breakthrough, and hopefully you got a feeling about how big it is, especially from Dan's story, let's talk about the big opportunity that runs behind all of it. ASEA's Redox products are the world's first and only redox signaling supplements for two very simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than the medical scientists who've worked with ASEA in the background, no one but them have been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. In fact, for the 2 decades before ASEA's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was all impossible. And remember, ASEA is third party, outside of itself, validated, certified to be the real deal. It contains nothing but redox signaling molecules. Now, two, ASEA is heavily patented. But that doesn't just mean that ASEA is not allowed to be copied, because the truth is ASEA can't be copied anyway, because there's no way to look into a bottle of ASEA and figure out how to reverse engineer it, how someone else can make it outside of the company, because there are trade secrets in the making of ASEA, not in the bottle. Right? That's why no one's ever been able to copy the taste of Coca-Cola, because there's trade secrets in the making of Coca-Cola. There's trade secrets in the making of ASEA. So it can't be copied. That means we have no copycats. That means we have no competition. No one in the world has what ASEA has, no one. And no other products in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them. Nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body as what ASEA can. Because redox works in everybody. Because everybody needs redox. Because nothing in the body works as well, or at all, in fact, without redox. Doesn't matter what it is. No juice, pill, super shake, fancy water, CBD oil, whatever it might be, however good it might be, it can't work as well or at all, in fact, without redox. And redox can't hurt anybody. Now, no other products can make these claims. And so therefore, ASEA holds massive opportunities over and above everything else and serves every single multi-trillion-dollar industry in health, care, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity, at far deeper levels than anything ever has been able to or anything ever will. And so ASEA really is, for this one reason and many more I'm going to share with you, an entrepreneur's dream. Our mission is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We're serious about that. And look, we can't do that on our own. And so we look for people to help spread the word. What we do is not complicated. First, we personally share ASEA Redox with customers. We also, along the way, find people to help us grow and expand a global network of other people doing the same, sharing this with other people. This puts you in business for yourself. You can be your own boss, but you're never in business by yourself, because together we're better. And so we work together to improve the productivity of the networks that we've built. And you can do this regionally, nationally, internationally, wherever your ambitions, however big they are, you can grow this to the same size. And so we're kind of like a franchise business, but instead of building restaurants and burgers, like let's say McDonald's does, instead of building buildings, we build people. And we don't even need to make the burgers here at ASEA, which is our Redox products, right? We don't have to make, ship, or handle the products. The company does all of that for you. And so in this way, you can make an income like a franchise, in fact, way more than that. I'm going to show you that in a second, but without all of the expenses, risk, and stress. Now, here's an example of our income disclosure statements. This is what real people out there in the real world have managed to be able to earn on average with ASEA. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn money just by sharing Redox with others. So for people looking for either an extra, part-time, full-time, or big-time, or even a legacy leaving income for loved ones, for people who have dreams of a better life, income, lifestyle, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions, to be able to afford making your goals, dreams, and desires a reality. And ASEA helps you create income that is both residual and leveraged. Now, you receive a residual income, not just from the first, but from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person you refer to ASEA. On top, you also receive unlimited leveraged residual income from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person your contacts refer to ASEA. And there's no limits to how far and wide and deep these referrals can go. And so because you can refer as many people as you like, and because they can refer as many people as they like, and because you're paid for every single person's purchase, not just once, but all of the repeated ones too, it makes your residual income potential unlimited. Now, we do this type of marketing all the time. It's natural, in fact. We recommend good movies, TV series, restaurants, cafes, books, lots of stuff. People tell people who then tell even more people, and it goes on and on. Word of mouth marketing is the oldest, and still today, #1 most powerful, effective, trusted, and listened to forms of marketing in the entire world. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide. ASEA is currently in 35 countries. They've opened up new markets almost every single year. They've been in business for over 10 years now. We're in our 11th year. Profitable from year one, zero debt from year one. We've only increased in profitability year after year after year. We've never taken a backward step. And based on these existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed more than $500 million by the year 2025. Now, residual income is very impressive. Being able to make money while you sleep, while you're on days off, while you're on holidays, very impressive. But more so, it's very important. You have residual bills. Why not residual income? Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65 who don't figure this out? Out of every 100 people, only one is wealthy. Probably figured out residual income. Probably has it. Only 3 are financially secure. Probably got residual income too. However, 7 out of every 100 people must still work to survive at 65. Let's be honest, they're not working because they want to. They're working because they have to. They're a slave to the dollar. But worse still, 74 out of every 100 people are dependent on welfare by 65. So what's the difference? What's going wrong? What's one of the main financial principles the top 4% seem to figure out that the other 81% haven't? And I was in the 81%. I was probably in that 74%, right? Failing financial plan is what I was on. It's residual income. It's how to make money that is no longer dependent on you're paid by your hour, selling your precious time for money. Labor intensive or own activity job, otherwise known as active income. Look, I figured out along the way that sooner or later, we're not going to be able to be as active as we are right now. Therefore, we won't be able to have as much active income as we have right now. And I found this extremely concerning because I was thinking my active income already isn't enough as it was. I would have been blown over by the changing of the wind. This is a big problem, a very serious problem that 81% of people get trapped in. Now, money is an excellent servant. You can do good things with money, but it's a terrible master. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll be a slave for money until you die. Now, I'm not saying jobs are bad because they're a good place to start for most of us. And if you truly do love your job, keep it. You're blessed. But still, find a way to make money outside of your job that won't interfere with what you're currently doing, because only relying on a single source of active income is just not smart and dangerous to your financial security. So if you're someone who is smart, who wants to be in the right place at the right time, who is able to recognize a good thing, who decides to take control of their finances and their freedom. If you aren't happy with the amount of money that you have, or maybe you're not happy with how you have to make it, if you have big dreams and want a better life, ASEA is a significant opportunity to be paid a significant residual income from the inevitable growth of its global expansion to afford you those dreams and give you that real freedom. But there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. And that's what you get to do with ASEA. It really is who we become, and more importantly, what we do. That is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make really great money here at ASEA, that is for sure. You can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips, 5-star luxury locations all around the world, have a really great time, meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences and a great lifestyle. But you know what? Really, at the end of the day, it is the effect we have on others. That is one of the most valuable currencies there is. And that is the heart of ASEA. Demonstrated. The truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving ASEA, those drug companies offered ASEA huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology. However, those drug companies also wanted ASEA to shut down and to have everyone taken off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son, Tyler Norton, they had the great foresight to see very grave concerns in such a deal. Because Virtus and Tyler saw people who went from very grave, concerning health challenges that once left not just them, but also their doctors feeling hopeless, to then these people being able to experiencing life-changing power from Redox. And when Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they really couldn't in good conscience sell out. And so that's why they did it. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. You see, for Virtus and Tyler, it had started out as just a very big business play, to be honest. But once they saw the effect that it was having in people's lives, it became more. The ASEA founders turned down the huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies. They decided to go the supplement route. They decided to go the health route rather than going the drug route, because they wanted to expedite the availability of this technology globally and make it available immediately to you and everyone without a prescription. One of ASEA's biggest guiding principles was demonstrated here, as is always demonstrated in every single decision they make. That is that they always put people and principles before ego and economics. Now, the ASEA founders and corporate team come from big backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. They're exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable global businesses, but their corporate soul revolves around putting people first, having an impact, making a difference, bettering people's lives, and being a force for good in the world. So you're in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. Let them know what stood out to you the most. Got any questions? Ask them. They can point to where you can find the answers easily. Plenty of university studies. But most importantly, there's hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing Redox experiences for you to see that ASEA is real deal. But you know what's better than a third-party study? A first-party study. Experience this for yourself. If you want to live happier, healthier, younger, stronger, longer, become an ASEA customer and become part of this Redox experience for yourself. But if you want more, if you have more in your heart, dreams and desires, you want to be, do, have, give more, you want to help people be happier and healthier to become more, if you want a better life, income, lifestyle for you, for others, if you want to increase the prosperity of the planet, if you want to make more of a difference in the world, you can become part of this Redox reality and you can become more. And if you just pass this information on for many, many others, just invite them here as someone has invited you here. You can better the lives of many, many others. And your life from that, as a byproduct of that, will become better in many, many ways. So thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be very happy. May you always be very well. And thank you very much for hosting us here, Kaleen.
Absolutely. Thank you, Stevie. Phenomenal. Okay, so we're about to wrap up the webinar. I'm going to share my screen really quickly. And Stevie, if you can promote Cindy, who is the ASEA webinar host, that would be great. Just so she can prep for our training that's happening at the top of the hour. Okay, folks, bear with me while I share my screen and make it big really quickly and move all of your beautiful faces around. Here we go. So I just want to bring us back to the core of where we're at, which is our product line. And apologies, my screen's lagging behind there for a moment. Okay, so this just shows you the 9 core products that we have, which again, as Stevie and Danny both touched on, are in the line of cellular health, right? both the drink, our nutritionals, which I'll briefly show you because we focused on our redox molecules tonight, and our skincare, right? Now, with the assumption that the purpose of this is just to give you a quick orientation if you're ready to get started on the product, as you go back to the person that invited you, this is some really important education to think with. We never just sell the drink by the bottle. It always comes 4 bottles to a case. And the reason for that is a person just trying a bottle or even just trying it for a month, you can see from this graph, is going to have a lower percentage of results that they might see. So when someone is ready to start the drink, we really encourage you to do a 3-month trial minimally, because you can see from this graph that over 95% of consumers, once they've been on the product, on a product plan that works for them, taking it correctly, you have a very high percentage that can really measure the changes that are happening at the cellular level in the body, okay? So you want to keep that in mind. This again just quickly shows you the topicals that we have. You saw the amazing before and after pictures that Stevie showed, and the white tube of gel is your Renew 28, and the blue tube just to the left of that is a serum that also has the molecules at a higher strength that are part of a phenomenal clean organic skincare line that's fantastic, particularly if you have sensitive skin. So again, you can find out more about that from the person that shared it with you. We also have a line of incredible nutritionals that are whole food based, and there's nothing synthetic in them, no fillers, it's non-GMO. And what I also love about these nutritionals, obviously we didn't reinvent vitamins, they've been on the market for over 100 years. But these have a patented absorption complex in them, so that if you have any issues with your gut or with digestion, you're guaranteed to be able to fully absorb these formulas. And as you all know, it's not what we take, it's what we can absorb, right? Okay, great. And then again, just a quick orientation in terms of when you're ordering the product. You want to make sure you do go back to the person that ordered it from you, or sorry, that invited you today, because you might see it randomly on a third-party website. But that's not an approved line of where we sell our products, because we really want that education component. We want you to have a product plan. We want you to know where your product's coming from. So when you get it from the distributor, you're guaranteed that it's coming directly from source. It's not expired. You're also guaranteed a 30-day money back on the product. And you can be eligible for what we call our free product program or loyalty rewards, which helps you save more money on the product, okay? So I'm just gonna breeze through these fun images because we're near the top of the hour. This is just really reminding you that no matter how you want ASEA to be a part of your life, whether it's just as a consumer or if you wanna have additional income to pay for your product, or have a bit more money each month, or even make it your full-time job, whatever your dream is, then there's an account that's right for you. There's a program plan that's right for you. And this visual just shows you that we do have 3 different kinds of accounts. And most of us love wholesale because, as you can see, when you choose one of our wholesale accounts, you get 25% off the full price of the product. You also get to participate in the loyalty rewards program, and particularly if you choose the associate account, you get first-time enrollment packages that are phenomenal, and you pay a one-time, the equivalent of $40 US to open that account, and then you pay $25 once a year, or the equivalent of the currency in your country to keep that account active, okay? So this is reminding you that we're here to support your body's ability to maintain and reclaim health. And we're going to close the webinar with a quote from our founder. We are all at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world. And that is coming directly from one of our founders, Vertus Norton. This officially concludes our webinar tonight. And we have Cindy Buck already joining the screen with us as an additional panelist, because at the top of the hour, in literally 5 minutes, we are going to move into what we call team training. And if you're a guest, you're welcome to stay for that. We have a phenomenal trainer tonight as a guest speaker. And if anybody has a question, we probably have like 1 minute to quickly answer it. And we thank you for joining us. We will be here again next Monday if you're on the US time zone, or Tuesday if you're in Australia or Asia. So Stevie, Dan, Cindy, I'll turn it over to all of you guys.
Fantastic. Well, you guys, if you have people that would like to, you would like to have them join this call, we have Eric Worre speaking tonight as our guest trainer on the ASEA Global Expansion Team Zoom. So Eric, as you know, is a master trainer in the industry of network marketing. He has, you know, just helped so many network marketers understand this as a business model. And he's really brought leaders from around the world together to teach each other so we can all learn from each other, regardless of which company we're with. So incredible opportunity to learn from somebody who's been in the industry for over 30 years and was in the field side and then moved over to the training side. So we'll learn much more about Eric tonight. So go ahead and text your teams and your upline and your downline and your crossline, and just let everybody in the ASEA network know that this call is happening in 2 minutes, and it'll go for a half an hour. And I know that Eric is extremely busy right now getting ready for the Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing event that's happening this weekend. So I hope you're all registered for that. But